Welcome to the Game Plan with Hunter Hughes. West Texas A&M is now 2-3 on the season, 1-2 in Lone Star Conference play. This after last Saturday's Lone Star Conference loss to Eastern New Mexico. Buffs lost that one 28-14. So as we look at the upcoming schedule, Buffs will be looking to rebound quickly as they head on the road to take on Texas A&M Kingsville this Saturday, 7 p.m. at Javelina Stadium. And then looking forward after that, it'll be homecoming the next week as WT returns to play at Kimber Memorial Stadium, 5 o'clock kickoff against Adams State. Then they'll go back on the road and take on Midwestern State. So we welcome in head coach Hunter Hughes. Coach, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Lucas.
All right, so Coach, we look back at this last Saturday's loss, second in a row in conference play for the Buffs against Eastern New Mexico, and Wagon Wheel game, obviously a big rivalry and an experience for you in your first year as head coach for WT. But that game, Coach, again, like some of the other games that WT has had this year, is one that if you're a Buff fan, you're saying we're right there. In fact, the team leads 7-0 late in the third quarter. And then a turning point, obviously, for Eastern was the interception. We were back in our own territory, and the linebacker for the Greyhounds, Brad Harden, steps in front of a pass, intercepts it. Eastern ends up scoring a few plays later, and the momentum shifted. And then you move forward into the fourth quarter. They really got their offense going, while in turn, we struggled to find our offense. Your thoughts after your first Wagon Wheel game?
Well, you play an offense like that, and they're going to get yards. You just hope that you can keep them from scoring, and you give them a short field. I thought we played really well. We had field position battle, and they're going to lull you to sleep, and they're going to chip and chip and chip, and then they're going to not give it to that fullback, and somebody's going to keep it. And that's what happened on the second touchdown. They quarterback kept and went about 50 yards down the field. But after the interception, we had the fullback in the backfield, and I think
trying to hold him to a field.
Yeah, I think that the started wearing down a little bit. We'd been on the field 70 plays or so, and probably more than 2/3 of the game at that point, and we just ran out of gas, and that happens sometimes, and it's part of the team deal, where we needed our offense to control the clock a little bit more, and that was our plan going into it. That's why we took the ball to limit them another possession of wearing us out. And the way they play, it just wears on you. They cut and they chop, and it drives defensive inside backers and defensive linemen crazy. And I thought we did a great job. The yards don't matter. It's the points. They drive down the field at the end of the first half and get no points until the next. So we're up 7-0 going in, and I thought that was a huge momentum swing for them when they got the interception, and we missed the tackle and they scored, and you could just tell that it was starting to shift in their direction there. So,
well, a senior-led team as well, and a lot of experience. That's a good football team as well. So we want to have some fun here with Coach Hughes. We know in talking with him that he's from the state of Tennessee. We know that you enjoy Nashville, and so you love your country music. Oh, yeah. Just like people in West Texas do as well, as I do. I was talking to you about last year getting a chance to see George Strait and also Garth Brooks. So we're going to have some fun with Coach. We're going to play a game here, and we're going to have you guess. I'm going to give you some song lyrics. I give you a couple lines from some country music songs, and we got to see if you can name first the artist. Then if you can name the artist and the name of the song, then we'll give you extra credit. All right, Coach?
All right.
Okay. See. All right, so here we go. First one for Coach Hughes. And I'm not, by the way, not going to sing these. I think James and Angela left their guitars at home, so I'll just read these lyrics. We won't sing them, at least not this time. First one, here you go, Coach. The lyric is, it should be easy for a man who's strong to say he's sorry or admit when he's wrong.
That's Garth Brooks.
Yeah, of course. Do you know the song?
Shameless.
Exactly. Yep. There you go. Great start for Coach Hughes, Garth Brooks and Shameless. Second one. Even when I'm ugly, he still better love me, and I can be late for a date, that's fine.
Oh, that's Shania Twain.
But he better be on time. Yeah, there you go. 2 for 2
That's a big tradition at our family weddings. All my aunts and female cousins get around the groom, whoever it might be, and they sing that. So
perfect.
I know that one. Been to a lot of weddings in my life.
Very nice. So third question. He's perfect so far. The next one is, well, honey, I don't care. I ain't in love with your hair, and if it all fell out, I'd love you anyway. A lot of use of the word ain't in these country songs. So this is an older one, and it's actually one that's one of my mom's favorite country singers, more 80s. Think 80s, Coach. Think twang, 80s twang. We're going to go with Randy Travis on this one. So do you know the song?
Only Randy. I can't even think of a Randy Travis song right off the top of my head.
It is Forever and
Forever,
Ever.
Ever, Amen.
There you go. Okay. So first miss for Coach Hughes, but then we'll move on. Next one, and this is one of my personal favorites. Great lyrics in this one. Now, there's a chance if I hurry, I can beg her to stay. But that water's right and the weather's perfect. No telling what I might catch today.
Say it again.
Yeah. Okay. So now there's a chance if I hurry, I could beg her to stay, but that water's right. That's a key there. And the weather's perfect. No telling what I might catch today.
Would say Alabama.
Okay. We're off a little bit there, but it's Brad Paisley, and it's I'm Gonna Miss Her. You know,
I was thinking Dixieland Delight of Alabama, but that's great.
Yeah, it's the classic dilemma for a guy. You know, does he try to save the relationship, or does he go fishing? He chooses fishing in this song. So, the next question, last one for you, Coach, is, and this one's a tribute to one of the greats from the state of Tennessee. So I'll give you a hint there. She ain't into cars. There's the word ain't again. She ain't into cars or pickup trucks, but if it runs like a deer, man, her eyes light up. Favorite out here in West Texas as well. Runs like a deer. Like a John Deere.
I know at Tennessee, and that I was a big Tennessee fan, Kenny Chesney.
Yes, Kenny Chesney. And it's,
I have no idea what song it is.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Oh.
So there you go.
I got the John Deere thing now.
All right, so
I'm more of an old school Johnny Cash,
go back a little
Waylon
further.
Jennings. Yeah, I got to get back a little bit deeper.
Next time we'll go back.
And then
a little
I
bit
can
further.
do. I'm probably better at those.
But not bad. He got 3 out of 5, so pretty good there, Coach. All right, let's move on to football, and let's talk.
3 out of 5 get you fired.
Let's move on and talk about our opponent this Saturday, which is Texas A&M Kingsville. Buffs head to Kingsville, Javelina Stadium, 7 p.m. kickoff for West Texas A&M. And Coach, this team, you go back and you look at last season, 2016. Kingsville finished the season 9-3. They finished 3rd in the Lone Star Conference. Their head coach, Darren Wilkinson, was named Coach of the Year. They had the Offensive Player of the Year in their quarterback, Miles Carr, who graduated, thankfully for Buff fans and for you. And then they had the Defensive Player of the Year as well, and Brandon Jones, who is a returner. He was just a sophomore last year. But that was last year. And then you fast forward to this season, they obviously lost some offensive linemen to graduation. They lost a very talented quarterback as well. And they're off to a tough start. 1-4 on the season. They've been outscored 153-44 in those 4 losses. But it's still a team, when you look at them on paper, they've got a lot of talent. They've got a couple of talented running backs. One of them, Nick Pulrin, who ran for over 100 yards last year against the Buffs. They've got Brandon Jones back, as I mentioned, preseason Defensive Player of the Year. So they're struggling offensively. They've turned the ball over. I think they've had 8 interceptions on the season. So what do you expect to see Saturday?
Extremely talented team. They got probably the best tight end combination in the conference.
Staley Redden.
Staley Redden is a guy that I know that played at Pueblo for a year when I was there. And I know Coach Wilkinson from my days at Pueblo. We were on the same staff that won the national championship together. He was the offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. And I have great respect for him, and know that he's going to bring a lot of multiple sets, a lot of different ways to run the same plays out of different looks for us. And I think they've been kind of snake bit. I mean, they've been in every game.
Yeah, they're up 14-10 last Saturday at halftime against Angelo.
They're kind of like us, haven't been able to put a full game together. And hopefully it doesn't start this week, because they're defensively, they got a lot of talent. They run to the ball real well. Brandon Jones is a heck of a football player. And, offensively, they got a running back that's a transfer from Oklahoma State. That's a really good player. And
Jeff Carr.
And they've got some receivers that can flat out run. So we got our hands full, both offensively and defensively. And we've got some injuries going on now, so we'll take whoever's healthy and go down there and see what we can do.
Next guy up for the Buffs. Well, Buff Nation, this Saturday, West Texas A&M again on the road at Kingsville, Javelina Stadium. It's a 7 p.m. kickoff. Buffs 2-3, 1-2 in conference play. Kingsville still looking for their first conference win. Let's hope it doesn't come this Saturday against our Buffs. So again, Buff fans, you can listen live as they're on the road. Lone Star 98.7, Bryce Sheets, Kent Johnson, and myself will have the call for you. And don't forget, pregame with Mike Roden will start at 6 p.m. So that's going to do things for this week's episode. Remember, Buff fans, you can go to gobuffsgo.com for your live video, your live stats, and also game recaps. And so for Hunter Hughes, I'm Lucas Kinsey saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week right here on The Game Plan.